Hey guys, Tina here and welcome to another video. Today I will be filming the recap of what I managed to read in the last couple of weeks. I think that's how long it was since I made one of these videos last time, and it was good. I mean, I read 4 books, which is a lot, given, how much I read in the past few months. But I was in a more reading mood, or actually I dedicated more time to reading, that's what it was. But yeah, let's get to the books. The first book that I managed to finish is Into the Bright Unknown by Ray Carson, which is book 3 of her Gold Seal trilogy. Wow, that's gonna be tough talking, yeah. Anyways, in book 3 of her Gold Seal trilogy, I have a whole review of the whole trilogy up already, so you can go check that out. This is a story of Leah Westfall. She is special, she can detect gold in the ground, and she's living during the gold rush. And she lives on this small farm with her parents. They get murdered and she heads out west to California to basically get a new life there, start a new life there. And along the line, there are a lot of adventures, and I love these books. So go check out my review. I hope you like it anyways. But yeah, this is the first book that I managed to finish, and then I sort of read or reread the Bronski by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black, which is book 3 in the Magisterium series. These books are about Callum Hunt. He is a mage, but he doesn't want to be because his father is really against magic since, his mother died and the events that took place before Callum was born actually. So his father is really, he raised him to be against magic, and when his time comes to go to the Iron Trial, in which, the mages decide whether or not he should go to the Magisterium, which is the magical school in this world, he is trying hard to fail, and despite that he gets accepted, and he goes to this magical school, and his life becomes just a mess of adventure, problems, troubles, whatever. And I sort of enjoy this series. It's not like really the best in my opinion, but it is enjoyable. So it's not Harry Potter. It doesn't come even close. But anyways, I sort of reread this one because I wanted to get to the next one, and I, since it's been a year since I last read it, I was sort of, foggy in the details, so I basically skim read it just to reacquaint myself with what happened. And then I picked up The Silver Mask, which is book 4 in the series, and it was okay. It was sort of more static in, location sense. We spent more time in this one place, and it is sort of more focused maybe on Callum trying to figure out who he is and what he wants to do, and things like that. Some things happened that I was not a fan of. But, that's how things go. Anyways, this is basically all I can tell you about this book, because it is the 4th one. But I think if you have kids, I think it's, a good series to, give it a try. And these books are short, so, even kids that don't like to read will be able to get through them pretty fast, I think. Anyways. And then the last book that I managed to finish is 7th Decimate by Stephen R. Donaldson. I received an ARC copy from the publisher over NetGalley, and thank you for that, guys. And this was actually my first Stephen R. Donaldson book. He's quite a renowned fantasy author, but I've never read anything by him, so I was really happy to have this opportunity to do it. And this is book 1 in his Great Gods War trilogy. And it tells the story of these 2 kingdoms that have been fighting forever, and I'm not going to go into names because I'm going to butcher them completely. But anyways, these 2 kingdoms have been fighting each other forever. Both sides have mages, and they play a huge role in this fight. And then one day, the mages, or they're called magisters, of this one kingdom lose their powers, they lose their abilities, and they're really worried now because they will not be able to fight the other kingdom now, because yes, they have rifles, but they do not have enough of them, and since they don't have magic, they cannot produce more. And anyways, the other kingdom has a bigger population, so they're basically screwed. And because of that, they send the crown prince on a mission to get a book that calls of this 7th Decimate, because the Decimate, there are 6 decimates, basically 6 powers, magical powers, and there's supposed to be a 7th one, which is the one that would take away the other kingdom's powers, magical powers, and so they would be sort of more like on even footing. And anyways, the prince has to go to this library in the middle of the desert and get this book and figure out how to help his kingdom, and that's basically the premise of the story. And I'm really conflicted about how I felt about this book. I mean, I did not hate it, I did not love it, so I'm sort of in the middle. The story was okay. It was, for me, the writing was weird. It was unlike anything that I've read in a fantasy book up till now, because in my experience fantasy books are really big and there's a lot of description and, you know, sort of slower, but this one was really more, although I've read some reviews that says that it was really wordy, but I didn't think that was the case anyways. And this one moved pretty fast, not the beginning but later on, and it was not wordy in my opinion. I think it was quite straightforward, you know, there was not a lot of description, there was not a lot of exposition. I didn't think it was pretty straightforward. It just pushed the story forward all the time, and it was a pretty new experience for me, and it ended up being like a 300 book, which is weird for fantasy books, as you know, since they tend to be of, you know, the bigger size anyways. So that was weird, but I got used to that and it was fine. I did not care for the prince. He had a lot of prejudices. He could not see the other side. He was just so focused on what he thought, and he would not listen to, you know, anybody else if they had different opinions. He was also pretty undetermined sometimes. He did not know what to do, which I guess it's normal, but still, you know, if you're in a position, you sort of have to make decisions and stick to them and just go along. So yeah, I didn't care for him, and he, you know, he did not really change a lot throughout the book. Yes, he sort of gave in at the end, but not really. So that sort of I didn't care for. Also, this kingdom was really weird in the sense that maybe that's because that's probably my misconception and you know how I figured the world is, but this kingdom was really clueless when it came to the world around them. Basically the only kingdom, or the only, you know, people in this world that they knew was the opposite kingdom, the kingdom that they were fighting. They had, you know, spies, but they were terrible spies. They never gave any information back, and they would just get lost, and they did not know whether or not you know, the world was populated, you know, other sides. They didn't know what was even going on in the rest of the world, that, you know, is it bigger or is it just the two kingdoms? They were really clueless, and that threw me off a lot of the time, and I just could not get past them, past that. So yeah, that was slightly weird, but yeah, so I'm conflicted. You know, I would not say to anyone that they should not read it, because it is an interesting book and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people will love it. For me it was sort of, you know, there in the middle of the spectrum, and I'm not sure. I mean, maybe in the next book things will get better, and I don't know, I just don't know. But yeah, it was certainly an interesting experience. Anyway, let's just leave it at that and get to the books that I'm currently reading. The first of those is The Dragon Reborn by Robert Jordan, which is book 3 in his Wheel of Time series, and I'm really loving it. I'm listening to it and I'm like halfway through approximately, and I think I figure out how this series is gonna work, and I'm liking it so far. But more about that actually in my review of these books, the first 3 books. I decided to do that when I actually get through this one. I hope you guys will enjoy that, but yeah, let's leave it at that for now. And then I'm also reading, or I started to read, Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson. I'm filming this on Sunday, and I did hope that half of the book at least is going to be done by now, but I have had a couple of terrible days and I did not do any reading, and I hope that's gonna change. I mean, you know, Brandon Sanderson does solve everything, doesn't he? But yeah, anyways, I just basically started it and I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm slightly sad that I did not reread the first 2 books in the series because it would help. I'm slightly foggy on some of the details because it has been like 2 years or so since I last read Words of Radiance, which is book 2 in the series. But I will get there, and honestly guys, I know that he's a pretty popular author, and I know that people love Mistborn trilogy, but Stormlight Archive is far better in my opinion, so you know, yeah, I just love it. And anyways, I will stop filming now because I do want to get back to reading the book, and I will definitely let you know how I feel about it once it is done. I do wonder whether or not it's gonna knock Blood Song off of its Throne, because that has been my favorite book so far this year, and it still is, but we shall see, right? Soon. Yeah, I love it. You guys, oh no, I just love it. Anyways, let me know down in the comments if you have read any of these books and how you like them, and thank you for watching this video, and see you in my next one. Bye!